Okay.
Okay, I brought my budget in. Maybe the last one, I don't know.
Were you
Better late than
retiring?
never.
Are you retiring or
No.
what?
Oh,
What do you mean the last one?
He means
I figured the last one turned in.
Cal-
Oh.
No.
I was like, what?
No, you're not the last.
Oh, okay.
Are you ill?
Well, I feel better
Yeah,
now.
I thought maybe something was going on we needed to know about.
Oh, shoot. This year, I didn't change anything other than the cost of living, whether we get it or not, that's fine. But doing in, all of our items have stayed the same.
Okay. Nita, what is in his capital outlay
Let me look real quick.
or equipment,
Yeah.
whatever we call that fund?
So, you did say you put a belly pan on your loader, didn't you?
It came with, yeah.
It's got 71,000 in there.
Okay.
Hi, Rob.
But as far as when we get down to getting some more ground, we don't need a budget for that. We'll figure something out at the time, or,
I think that comes out of the general.
Well, it's gonna have to go somewhere. I mean,
yeah.
you've got that capital improvement fund, which is obviously where it's gonna have to come from.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't budget
Well, yeah.
for that.
That's what I've,
I'd asked last year about that, and
Yeah.
he said it'd come out of.
It's gonna have to. You're gonna have to, it's, capital improvement basically is that little gas depletion. plan.
yeah, there's
So.
hair over $1 million in it or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much is in there, so,
1.2, something
yeah,
like
I think so.
that. Okay.
But that's where that, because you can't, like I said, you can't budget,
Yeah,
because we don't have that much flexibility to raise that.
yeah, it would throw everything out of whack.
Yeah, you'd be laying people off if you did that.
Yeah. You don't see any, I mean, you got the new loader, there's really nothing else big that you think
Yeah.
coming down the pipe?
Yeah.
New loader working out good?
Yes. I've put quite a few more hours on than I anticipated I would. You know, it's just like,
That's good.
You got, like new equipment, you increase productivity, I've been using a lot.
Yeah,
Digging and filling in those spots in the field.
Yeah.
I've moved a lot of dirt
yeah,
recently. You know, I had 160 hours on it when I started, and now I'm at 400 and a lot. Put a lot of hours on it. But you know, with what I had previously, you know, I was putting an awful lot of stuff that needed done because it was leaking so bad. Now I'm trying to catch up. And
Yeah.
Other than continually digging on my ramp.
yeah. Now, Nita, on this, we're gonna incur some costs as far as like site studies and environmental stuff with
We'll
the
have to
state.
budget for that.
We'll have to budget for that, okay. Cause I would say 22 would be the year,
So if you get your land off.
yeah.
And then you have to call Terracon,
Yeah,
and that's not gonna be cheap.
No. Well, you know, the last sale we did, the engineering consulting fees was more than the actual
Yeah.
digging of the hole,
yeah,
which is a shame, but
It's ridiculous.
the state's involved.
yeah,
The ball's in their court and you gotta jump through their hoops.
Yep.
yeah, okay. That'll work. Nothing else new?
Business as usual.
Okay. That'll work. You got anything, Clay?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
I went out there and took the tour a couple, well, it was last month.
Did he let you drive the loader?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
He wouldn't even let me get up in it, because my shoes were dirty and,
Yeah. Yeah, he's got one of them deals inside the cab that you put your feet down in and it puts plastic on your feet.
I done wore the new off of it.
Yeah.
I do, trying to get in and warm it up, but every time I get in here, I sweep it out, I got a little paintbrush in there.
Yeah.
I haven't made it in time to wash it yet. It needs wash.
Yeah.
I'm kind of only 90 hours away from first service, 500-hour service.
Yeah.
Won't be too long.
and they come out and do that, or you
No,
have
I'll
to take it in? You do it?
I'll do it. Yeah, I got a full fuel, or a full sample in the house.
10-4.
I've had to have 2 repairs done on it. One was shortly after I'd gotten it, the DEF injection system clogged, and of course that was covered in warranty. There's a little piece of plastic apparently when the new or something got in there. And a couple weeks ago, I threw a code on it and had to go through and find the code, which they already knew about it before I had called them.
Yeah, because that machine communicates with the
Yeah.
cloud, doesn't it?
Yep, and they already knew about it, and they had the part.
Yeah.
and Came on out.
You would think if something bad
Something was in the oil or water separator DEF thing again, and different piece, but
Do you think they would call you if, like, it threw a code and something bad was happening and for some reason you didn't see it, or what, you think they'd call out and say, hey, what's going on out there?
I don't know, I would
Yeah.
hope. But,
Yeah.
they
I didn't
should-
know how
They
that
should be
worked.
able to start and shut that thing off, they want to.
you would think.
You know?
Darren, you're done.
But hey, it be-
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
But having a machine that you don't dread getting into, and the other one just beats you to death.
Oh, yeah.
This has got 3 different ride settings on it.
Yeah.
It's just,
just think what the next one will be like.
it'll hover, maybe. But me, there'll be nothing left of it when I'm done with it.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rob?
You wanna do yours, Rob, real quick?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Now, we make a second.
Which one do you want? The one I really want or the one you guys want? I need 2 of them.
Let's do the one you really want.
And actually, it's not even correct. Actually, I got to refigure it and it's not even close, so.
Does this include the new jail?
No, no new to jail, just added people. If you want to actually see it, it's
Yeah.
just more so you can proceed.
You have a comment for me?
Yes, I do, but I did
Leave one
not,
for Todd, too.
did not figure in what to
Okay.
vehicles, so I'm behind, so that's not like that. What that one is, the addition would be for a detective in the road position.
And road.
Yeah, I saw where they cut it off.
Okay.
But here is the one, the realistic one probably.
Is this the real one?
Yeah.
This is the
This
dream.
is- this-
This one's the dream.
That's my dream, yes, okay, that's a good way of putting it, it's a dream. Because like I said, I just figured in wages for 2 people, I didn't figure it.
Yeah.
The rest of my vehicle cost and everything else. I got to thinking about that and I thought, oh, no.
So it basically just comes down to, I mean, this is what you would like to do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get it,
Yeah,
so,
but as far as
yes.
adding a detective in another road position,
Yeah, because when we have the crimes, we don't have time to actually spend as much time as actually needs to be. And on the detective side, they get the people
yeah,
they can talk to that'll trust them that won't talk to us,
yeah.
so. And good detectives are expensive. Or any type of detective is actually expensive because there's a lot more training involved and everything else.
Yeah, what
All
is-
the experience.
Is it I mean, I'm not familiar with the workforce availability. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there, but it'll be hard to find one, won't it?
It's hard to find simple
Yeah,
road
just a-
deputies,
just a
so
road
yeah, it would be hard to
deputy,
find them anyway.
I was listening, I heard on the radio yesterday that Kiowa County, I mean, they're running ads like, it seemed like it was reoccurring all the time, running ads for
They're
road
running
position.
radio ads, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, you never
They're-
really
they're
hear that in
one-
a county.
For sheriff's officers?
Yeah,
Yes, they want
Wow.
a sheriff officer and jail staff.
yeah.
I mean, they're,
I bet you I heard it 5 times yesterday.
yeah, I hear it a couple times daily.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really not ever been tried before. I mean, you put it out there, but
Wow.
no, he's branching out whichever way he can right now. And he's a new sheriff there. I mean, he's got plenty of experience. He's been sheriff there before.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
left, he was a Kansas livestock inspector for a while.
Okay.
Then went back and they asked him to take over a sheriff position back in Kiowa County again, so he
Yeah.
went and ran for it.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
But yeah, the second one there, it's same as last year's, actually.
Yeah. That prisoner expense is sure low in 20, isn't it?
Well,
Well,
that COVID.
COVID,
Yeah.
there's so much, probably something because there's so many unknown aspects in mind.
Oh, yeah,
I-
definitely, because it could be,
Jail, the
it could
fuel,
be,
the hours, transporting, all that, you just never can tell.
yeah, I mean, it
Because it's
could
something you
be
can't tie down.
175 instead of 135 easy.
And it's been that way before.
Yeah,
It has been over before. And a medical expense, I believe, was at 30.
but surely over a period of time, you know, over 5 years, it averages out. You have down years and up years, and
Mhm.
of course, you throw COVID out because that's kind of an outlier.
That's actually affected the past year and a half is what it did.
Yeah,
Has the courts opened yet?
Well,
They're catching up. They're still having to jump through the hoops, the panels and everything else, but yeah, they're maybe starting opening up
she's got a jury trial scheduled for the next
Next
week
week.
or week after.
in.
What is it,
End of this month, the 1st of July, we'll start some of ours will.
Right, but they don't have to, remember she came in to ask if they could use the annex for overflow for jury? They don't have to do that anymore. So that'll kind of help, but,
Yeah, because yesterday with the ending of things, it changed some of the things for us
Mhm.
to the leeway that we're given for people and their driver's licenses being expired and everything else.
yeah, the
It goes
emergency
away on
order
July 1.
went out.
Yeah, it goes out July 1.
Ours is still in effect for the
So-
COVID.
Mhm.
Ours is still in effect until you guys rescind it, so we're still covered. But the state
And then the
is,
vehicles, that
Yeah.
they've actually been current for the next several years.
okay.
So, I mean.
That's what I was
several
getting ready to ask, on this car expense, it's 18,500.
Mhm.
That's just your yearly reoccurring on your
Mhm.
replacement schedule, right?
No, we
no,
pay for
this
the
is
car out of
maintenance,
general.
upkeep, tires.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the general oil changes,
Okay.
repairs.
Fuel.
Okay.
You don't have a fuel line item?
No,
Oh, yeah, okay, everything comes out of here.
everything goes out there.
Some of them have a fuel line item.
And like,
But if you're
I just-
gonna,
now recently
Are
got
you-
my vehicle back after 12 weeks. I got it back 2 weeks ago on Friday. The total bill was $37, then good, because it was under warranty.
Yeah.
Because it was basically almost a.
So this car
Engine
expense,
replacement.
that's oil changes on all the pickups,
Tires.
cars, tires, and then all the fuel.
Mhm.
Wow.
so if they do approve your dream budget, are you gonna need 2 vehicles?
Yeah.
So I will have to adjust courthouse general,
Yeah,
because I
See,
only
that's,
put
I
in,
didn't get that far.
I only
into
put
it.
in for the one that the trading thing.
Because when I did pick up my other deputy, that's the first time we've ever had one, and it roughly comes out to close to the vehicle outlet and everything else. Well, actually, I bought that vehicle out of my,
You bought it out of
Reserve.
your reserve.
yeah, that one. But it
The
almost takes,
unexpected one?
Mhm.
Which one did you buy out of your reserve?
well,
The
we had
one-
2 in 1 year.
Yeah,
And one of the
So he
vehicles
bought
out of
one and we
reserve,
bought one.
yeah.
Because it wasn't budgeted.
Because I
Yeah.
only budget for one out of general.
I think I remember that. It was around this time last year, wasn't it?
I don't remember what it
Close, yeah.
Yeah.
Close, we had traded and do it, so.
Yeah.
But it takes, it's close to $100,000 once you get vehicles and equipment and everything else for a person, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's,
was. So that's something,
But
we'd have to think about it.
that's the reason I just was thinking about wages and everything else, didn't go into the vehicle aspect of it or anything else. It was
Yeah.
just kind of a mess. So then I have my wish dream and more realistic dream.
Okay.
Pop my bubble, I should have put that one on.
Pop my bubble.
And then there'd be to outfit them, like a gun and all this that comes
With the
in.
uniforms, everything else, it adds up.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes down to the equipment in the vehicles too, will be with radios and cages and everything like that. On this last one, I got to figure it in, it surprised me on how much it comes in. It's anywhere from 5 to 10,000.
That part
What you
comes
do.
out of your budget. All we buy
Yeah,
is
was a
the
vehicle.
vehicle.
Is a bear pickup.
Which, what do they run? I don't have any idea.
Without trade-in,
But if
I've
you're gonna
got
buy
some.
two outright, I mean,
To buy them outright,
90,000.
so we need to add,
45,000 piece.
I need to add 100,000 to
yeah, but roughly.
general. I mean, we need to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because I have general done,
As
so.
long as we have a trade-in, our vehicles are pretty good, we can get them in the 20 range. We get pretty
But-
good deals, and we get a lot of concessions.
As a
You're
bear,
buying
as a
outright.
bear pickup.
It's just a
40
stadium.
40,000, 45,000. Something like that.
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen with vehicle prices when they're,
Yeah.
because right now I can't.
You can't get vehicles, obviously.
And I have one, I'm gonna have to go ahead and order whether I can get it or not. But I have to let her know, that I need a realistic price on it for trade-in value, because I have a trade-in to go with it, but who knows? There's not 20 cars on the lots.
No.
Of all three dealerships.
Yeah. It's like a ghost town. Is Hutch that way too?
Is that that way?
Everywhere is, they've been putting out letters and letting them know that, hey, I've gotten a few extra vehicles in, and it's kind of scrambled, there's this, and
But the last
first who
thing,
gets here first with the,
Oh, yeah.
that signs the papers gets it type deal.
we're probably getting government discount
Yes,
on
we
it
do.
too.
We
Yeah.
do.
so-
We get government concessions.
I wonder if that puts us to the back of the line, you know, if not all,
Hell
just
no.
Joe
It's
Blow can't
guaranteed
get a
money
With
for
with government
them.
concessions, depending on what we get, we can get the ranges down, I'm saying around 25 to 30. We're right through there.
yeah,
With our
okay,
government concessions.
okay.
And normally with the trade-in, it seems like it changes concessions if you trade in, and it's still right in there, in that
Yeah.
same range somewhere. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
Yeah, I know.
Well, my understanding is the vehicles
Well, I
are
wasn't sure
made,
what time.
and they're sitting on the
Yeah,
lot waiting on the chips.
Ford's that way for sure, I don't know
Right,
about,
yeah, you can do it
Chevy,
next,
but-
probably.
I mean, I've read articles about Ford where there's
Doesn't all of them
thousands of
chit-chat.
pickups in a
And
a lot that are
You'll
waiting
notice
for
on the
computer
agendas,
chips.
I allow chit-chat on there.
I'm waiting on simple stop sticks,
Well, yeah, your pickups
I
been
ordered
out
some
there
more stop
for
sticks.
12 weeks.
and they
Or did
can't send them out because they don't have the real part that comes from Asia.
No.
Did your pickup finally get done up there?
Yes, I've going on
Couple
second week now.
Okay.
Cost them $36.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my only bill, they said, okay,
Yeah.
they did.
Added a quarter well.
Well, actually, it was an air filter, I believe, and connectors, because they cut my lights in the front.
Hmm.
Because my grill guard, instead of unconnecting them, they just went ahead, cut them, and reattached them, so.
Okay.
After the meeting, can I catch you?
Yep.
Or just, I got some questions about some stuff after the property.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
You wanna do your budget real quick, you wanna talk to him?
Ready, you're done.
My budget, nothing's changed, it's
Same deal?
the same as last.
Same old, same old. You don't need, oh, you don't have a county vehicle, I was gonna say.
No, I
You
don't
need
have a
tires.
county vehicle,
Here, I'll take one of those.
all the same.
You don't need tires.
Nope. Just Mandy and I.
You mean you don't have a wish budget either?
Negative.
Oh, that's
So-
funny.
Gordon?
Now, I will tell you, I know when think in 2 weeks, I'm scheduled for a jury trial. And I know once this COVID thing gets over, we're gonna start having more jury trials. So there's gonna be some witness expenses, some juror expenses that'll come through. But, I mean, just giving you a heads up about that stuff. But
That was my question about when the courts are gonna open. So-
yeah, I think, don't quote, this is a Judge Johnson decision, but I think the plexiglass stuff is gonna maybe start coming down.
We just got them up.
So we paid for that stuff and never used it.
Used it. Not with a jury trial, anyway.
Correct.
The other ones are up
That
on the
really
table,
surprising.
but not out there
And
everywhere else.
everyone complains because they can't hear because of the plexiglass and the mask. It's hard to hear, it's hard to make a record. But, I mean, that's just life, you deal with it, you keep
There's
rolling.
also enough reflections, you can't see the people.
You can't see, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So,
Is it my turn?
Yep.
I knew it
Come on
was a
in.
thought on that crap that would never do it.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Rob. We're ready for you.
Alright. So, I brought a step increase for Kaylee.
Been doing any vaccinations?
We're gonna do some more today.
Really?
Second doses of 12 to 18-year-olds with Pfizer.
Good.
And then we've got some Moderna second doses scheduled Friday. So, yeah. Not a lot, but little bits of people. And then, I mean, whenever, we've had some people walk in and request the single dose, and we still have some of those, so we'll just open a vial and give it when they walk in, so we don't have a missed opportunity.
Mhm.
You okay with that?
Sure.
I make a motion that we move Kaylee Kistner with the health department from range 5, step 5 to range 5, step 6.
Second. Been moved and second, we increase Kylie from range 5, step 5 to range 5, step 6. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I've also brought with me an agreement for the WIC dietitians that we contract with Barton County for. It's something that I have to have signed for the budget for the, for WIC, and that the budget has to be turned in the 15th of next month, so I'm working on that right now. It looks like everything's gonna stay the same. They do have one dietitian that is going to retire in November, but I had been approached by somebody from Stafford County that's a registered dietitian that was interested in a position like months and months ago. So whenever the head dietitian came and talked to me last week about it, I was like, oh, well, I might know somebody to help you guys out. So I passed information along, so she might hopefully take that position up. That'd be good.
Now, is that 1 or 2 days a week, or?
It's 1 day a week for
Here.
2 weeks here. So we contract, so one dietitian comes the first Wednesday of the month and is here for half of a day. And then the second week on Wednesday, the other dietitian comes for the full day. And then the remainder of the month is up to me to do the appointments. But we have to have a dietitian available because there are some people that are labeled as high risk due to like low hemoglobin or being overweight or underweight or things like that, and a dietitian has to see them and give nutrition education.
Yeah, so it's required.
Yeah, so we have to have a dietitian to be able to do WIC services, and we've just contracted through Barton County because they have some employed up there.
Yeah,
So we just share the cost for the days that they come and do appointments.
yeah.
And then they also are available, like if I have questions about anything, I can always call and ask them. And Bev, the dietitian that sent this contract over to me, she always does the bulk of making our nutrition service plan that we're required to have also. So it's really nice to have their help because she does a lot of the heavy lifting on some of those things that the state requires that I'm not quite able to do.
So you just.
We need a motion.
Motion to authorize the chairman to.
I make a motion that we authorize the chairman to sign the Barton County WIC dietitian agreement.
Okay, it's been moved to second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
You didn't want to repeat that?
I could have read it.
Okay.
Do you need
Pretty
a
much.
copy of that?
I can send a
You'll
copy
get
to you. They'll send.
After I.
Yeah, they'll send me
yeah.
one with
Yeah.
everybody's
Well, if you have a
signatures.
copy, I don't need a copy.
Okay, I always keep it in my file with my
Yeah,
WIC
you're
stuff,
fine.
so if you do need it, I've got it.
No.
So it looks like new copy machine.
Yes, ours is making a high-pitched
Sure.
whining noise as we make copies or print things out, and we've had it for quite a while.
Yeah. So you're just gonna transfer less out, and that's where the extra money's coming from?
Yeah, I
Nothing
mean, I
else.
tried to keep everything else
The same?
about the same. I did increase office supplies a little bit from what I had budgeted last year, just because we went over.
Yeah.
But everything else I tried to keep about the same because I don't foresee us really having to change a
Yeah.
whole lot.
And did we talk some about, your HVAC out there?
Yes, so, I have a grant that I was going to do the upgrade with because it
Okay.
was under that
For
grant.
air quality or whatever?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if it was, I knew we had talked about it, but I wasn't sure if it was through our COVID funding or a grant. or
it's a
what.
grant that I had
Okay.
applied for, so, it's an infrastructure grant that was non-competitive to all the health departments.
Yeah,
So, part of it was you could upgrade your heating and air to help with air quality inside
Yeah,
the
that's-
building.
that's awesome.
So, which I can't really start in on any of that until next fiscal year. So I've been approved for the money, but I can't dive
Actually
into
do it.
spending.
Well, there's
any
nothing
until-
wrong, like,
Yeah, and
wrong
it's
with your
working
system.
right now too.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, yes, I mean, we've had
Today
to
or
have them come
tomorrow,
and
it
work
doesn't-
on it, but it's functioning fine
Yeah.
right now anyway, so.
Yeah, if it makes it through this week, hopefully we'll
Yeah.
get through the rest of the summer.
Yes,
And
Okay.
have you gotten another container?
that's part of that grant too,
Okay.
so I have to wait until next month to start. getting
July
things
1
ordered
is
in.
the fiscal year, okay.
Are you thinking you're gonna put that like west of your tornado shelter? That's what I-
Yeah, and we've got that small storage shed that's out there, but it is just, it's rickety.
We
So
might
I
as
was
well get
thinking,
it out
rid of
before
that
we
and
put the other
take
one in.
the stuff that's in there and put it in the new container.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be bug proof and rodent proof in a container,
Yeah,
yeah.
because everything that's out there is just yuck. Whenever
Yeah.
we go get it out, we have to
Yeah, surely we
clean
can
it up
get
a little before we can take it
Phil and
in.
the guys to load it up.
Yeah. Haul it
This
and
time
give
of
it to Darren.
Well, no, I mean, cause this is gonna be, by the time you do it, it's gonna be next fiscal year, right? So, yeah,
Which is July.
Which, I mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
starts over in July,
It's
so
only
I
2
can
weeks
start,
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not far off.
but what I'm saying is by the time you're ready to do it,
Yeah.
it'll be late summer, early fall and,
Yeah, because I've got to have concrete and all that done, just like we did with the
Yeah.
other one.
You'll have wiring in it.
Which, whenever Davis came out to give me the quote for the air system so that I could write it in the grant, I talked to them about that and they said they could just run electricity from the other unit over to that one,
okay, yep.
so.
Cool.
We were contracted with a lab and we are beginning to have a lot of problems with them, not having like issues with specimens that were just like coming out of nowhere And it was really frustrating having to call people and say, sorry, but we have to have you come back so we can redraw your lab. And then they were doing increases on things without letting us know ahead of time. And we have a significant amount of people that come in to have lab done with us that don't have insurance, so they pay out of pocket. And we made a policy that they have to pay for their lab up front because we have pricing for that.
Yeah.
So we were having people pay up front, and then we got slapped with a bill and they had increased pricing and not let us know. So therefore, we kind of had to eat some of the cost because we had people pay in advance. So I searched around and found a lab we are already sending some of our family planning specimens to, and we never have problems with them. So I contacted them and asked them if they did blood draws also, and they did. So I switched labs. I got pricing from them, especially for the people out of pocket, because I was concerned about making sure that those people could have same pricing or similar pricing, because I didn't want to change anything for those people. And they could match and make some of them less for out of pocket. So I switched labs just the beginning of this month.
Where's your new lab at?
It's KPS, and they're out of Hayes and Wichita. So our family planning specimens go to Wichita. The majority of our blood specimens will go to Hayes. But I've got a contact, and she's been super easy to work with, and everything's transitioned pretty smoothly. So we're already using them.
So they have the courier service as well? Good.
And they sent us out a new centrifuge, because the one that we had was the lab that we were previously contracted with. So we have to give that back to them, but they sent us one that we can use that's newer. So hopefully this will be nicer.
On this, professional services, can you explain what that is?
Yes, let me find the line.
Looks like we spent 17 on it in 2020, and then you're budgeting for 23,000.
So the reason for the lower amount is basically COVID.
Yeah.
That is, so the pro services is like paying for the nurse practitioner that comes and does family planning, Dr. Farmer, our pharmacy checks,
Okay.
like
So it's
sending.
kind of like a catch-all for outside services?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a little bit under budget this year because we didn't do a couple of family planning clinics.
Yeah.
And some of the family planning clinics were cut shorter, and also I think some of our WIC funds go into that too for like the dietitians, and they were doing some of their appointments over the phone instead of coming down, so everything was a little bit less this year because we didn't have so many in-person visits happen like we normally did previously. So hopefully things will, I mean, people are starting to come back in more,
Okay.
so. And we've been doing, I think over the last 2 months, we've only done a couple of WIC appointments over the phone. Everybody else has been coming in for their WIC appointments again, so that's been good to see the kids again and do the heights and weights and all that, so.
I noticed that on the child vaccines, that the 6-in-1 has been approved now.
We haven't ordered it yet.
I wonder what the price it's gonna be.
Private, I think somebody emailed and said reimbursement for it was $158 with private insurance. I haven't looked to see how much it costs to order it yet, though.
But I forget now which one they added.
I think they added Hib in with, I think it's DTaP, Hep B, polio, and Hib all in one vaccine.
Then there was the Haemophilus, or is that it?
That one was usually one that we would give on its own,
Yeah.
and I think they added that one in.
Yeah, so it's 6 vaccines in one.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, one less poke for the kids too, so. And they should order it through, or they should have it through VFC also, or we can order it through there too.
But I was just curious to whether there's gonna be a huge increase since it's 6 and 1 now, so.
I need to get on and look. I haven't
Well, I was just
looked for
curiosity.
pricing.
I mean,
Yeah, I need to get on and look at that, see how much it is. But I did see, there are people talking about billing through the email, and I saw that and thought, I need to get on and look at that.
Okay.
And anything been mentioned about flu vaccine for this fall and whether COVID is gonna be in it or any noise on the front?
Mm-mm. They're still studying how long the vaccine is effective for, and so far they haven't really said it.
Yeah, well, it's,
And I don't know if they can, at this point, put the COVID vaccine in with flu because it doesn't, they're still finding things out about how it can be stored also. They've extended the refrigeration life of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So what we have was set to expire the 20th of this month, and they extended it because they found that it's still
staying.
viable.
Yeah.
So it doesn't expire until August now. And then through all of this, Pfizer has changed their storage and handling of their vaccine too, which is how we're able to even get it now and be able to give it, because prior to this past 2 months, it's been having to be stored ultra cold, and we don't have that. Well, they found out, oh, you can store it in the regular freezer for 2 weeks. Well, now you can store it in the regular freezer for 2 weeks, and then you can take it out and put it in the refrigerator for 30 days, and it's still good. So they're finding,
It's all those expensive
Well,
freezers
it's-
everybody bought.
yeah,
It's a new experience, I mean.
it is. So, they're learning as they're going, and they're doing research as they're going, and things change as you go because it's all new to everybody. So, but it's nice that we can have the Pfizer vaccine with
Right.
us for 45 days versus not being able to have it at all. So, yeah. And
Good.
I'm thinking that we'll hear something from Moderna on different age ranges sometime soon. I think the advisory committee is supposed to be meeting either the end of this week, beginning of next, to talk about that. So we may be able to offer Moderna to younger demographics also soon. So we'll see.
Now there's an outbreak in southern Missouri. Branson,
Checked this morning and we're still at 0.
Good.
So
Good.
keep the Delta virus away.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
You guys have a good day.
Yep, you too.
You wanna do the minutes and the tax roll corrections?
Yes. Got them somewhere here. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the June 2nd, 2021 meeting.
Second. It's been moved and second. We approve the minutes of June, what,
Second.
2nd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Just 2 people.
I'll be on for a specific time.
10.
I missed that.
Well, if you can do it within the next 20 minutes, you can go now.
Just the Roz thing?
Is that all you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, we gotta make a motion on the non-meeting.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of my non-meeting minutes, you guys.
It's just-
Because
Somebody will come
history-
back in 100 years.
Say,
Say-
where's your non-meeting
I was gonna
minutes?
say, I didn't make copies because I assumed.
I make a
you did,
motion
but-
that we approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2021 meeting.
Non-meeting.
Non-meeting.
I'm telling you,
I'll second.
not
It's
mock
been moved
me.
and second that we approve the minutes of the non-meeting
They're mocking.
minute on June
You know, I could be
9th.
sweet.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Okay. Student loan repayment.
Yeah, so this is the rural opportunity zone program that the state provides. They require that the county pass a resolution every year in order to stay eligible, even for just the employer sponsor provisions. So, it's kind of funny. We are passing it saying, yes, we intend to participate for the next 5 years. And at the same time, they're going to ask you to pass a resolution every year. And the reason is they want to know how much the county is going to dedicate to it. And we, Section 7, I have that the county of Stafford is allocating $0 per year. So in effect, all this makes Stafford County utilizing is the the employer-sponsored provision of it. So if someone wants to hire someone and sponsor them, they can participate in it, which could be a private employer, it could be a city, it could be whatever.
And then the rural opportunity zone will help with that too. Say I hire somebody and I sponsor their loan repayment. This resolution would allow this organization to help out with that, or what is that?
Okay, so what the
Where's the
resolution
correlation,
is
I
saying,
guess?
it's a statewide program, but you have to opt into it.
Yes.
So the state will pay half of the student loan repayment, but they require that the local entity pay the first half. They won't approve somebody if you don't have either a county's, some counties are allocating
Yeah.
county funds to do it. For the first 10 years of this or whatever, we were taking it out of economic development's budget. There for a while, we were paying up to almost $10,000 a year out of our $80,000 allocation from the county was going to this. What I don't like about it is that even though we're obligated to pay for it, we have zero input on how the approval process is going.
Yeah.
So it is a first come, first serve. We don't have the ability to specifically recruit. Say we need a nurse at the hospital and we're working hard to recruit for a specific skill set that we need here. We have no ability to put that person first, even with the money that we're putting into it.
Yeah.
That's the part that I don't think
But
is
say
very
you had an
workable.
industry that came in and they wanted to pay a bunch and then they signed up a bunch of people ahead, then you wouldn't necessarily have differentiation between who you think. Because it's first come, first served.
It's first come, first served, except for an employer-sponsored part. So the part that the county puts in, first come, first served, we have no say over that.
Okay.
But if an employer wants to sponsor someone, they'll allow them to just
Yeah.
essentially jump to the head of the line or whatever. So that's what this is allowing. If we have an employer, and we do have a few of them that
That
are
are
doing
doing it.
this.
Yeah.
So if the employer pays for it, then they qualify for the state match.
Okay.
And that's what we're, yeah.
So
And the other
basically,
thing
we're
is that-
opting in so employers can do it.
Yes.
We don't have any tax dollars in it.
Okay.
And the other thing is that we've had at least one family participate in this too. They didn't have any state loan or student loans, but they moved in from out of state, and you can get a waiver of state income tax for a phase-in period under this program. And we had one family take advantage of that. So that's the other reason to go ahead and stay, I guess, a part of the program even without
Okay.
paying.
You okay with this, Clay?
Yeah.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2021-17.
Second. It's been moved and second, we adopt the resolution number 2021-17. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
I guess that.
Just sign Bryce's. Sign the one in your left hand. Give me. Right
I'll smack him on the
there. I will. And I'm not afraid to do so.
Does Todd need to sign that?
No, he's not here.
And so
So
what am I
you're in
gonna do
budget
this
season.
way?
It's not that ours ever changes, it's just the 1 mil.
Okay.
Yes.
But would it be something that would be, I don't know, well-received if I came in and just shared with you our annual audit, just to,
Yes, that'd be great.
okay, I can do that.
Yep. Okay.
I have not, have not called for another, like, board meeting, because there's nothing specific to consider, but
We're kind of waiting on Grant.
Yeah,
stuff? Is that
generally,
by the end of July?
well, there's both the regular grant cycle at KDOT, but really, I think the bigger opportunity is the federal ARPA money that's
Yeah.
coming to the state, and I'm really trying to be a part of that process of allocation.
Yeah.
Um, So, Wind River's pushing me in for better rates, that's kind of part of what's going on right now, maybe what would play into actually crafting our operating agreement as kind of some of the terms they're able to work out in the whole project overall, so we aren't really further, working to hammer out some kind of lease agreement at this time. Talking with one other company that potentially could be a second tenant at the get-go, which would be great. We'll work on that. And then we do still have some money in our trust account that I'm pulling off of for legal costs. I would give an update of that, I guess, but we not a lot,
Yeah.
enough to pay the expenses we have right now.
Okay.
There's probably even a play to be done if we wanted to use the ARPA money that's coming to the county. Just like I'm making the case for the ARPA money that the state's getting to put into this, we could probably buy land if we wanted to actually execute that stage of things.
Yeah.
Nita and I've had a little bit of conversation about it, might be smart to do not as many do some larger strategic expenditures with this. It'll be a lot easier record keeping wise, and it might be more impactful than a lot of just
Little stuff.
little stuff that,
I can't come up with any little projects. I mean, the septic tanks we talked
Yeah,
about.
which is not little, but it's little in the
No,
amount
I mean, as
that-
far as
that we got.
An $800,000 bucket,
Yeah.
that 50, 60, whatever
Yeah.
thousand is little.
Yeah.
But we did get contacted by Swindle, Jensen, Hawk and Lloyd. They would like to.
Sure they would.
And we decided we can do it.
The Swindle Jansen.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think
Because
this
you
time
guys
it
did
will
most
be,
of the work.
it will be easier this time
it's
as far as, especially if we do big projects.
And what did
Right.
we pay them last time? Wasn't
They
it?
got a percentage.
They got every dime they
5%.
could get.
Didn't they get a percentage?
But then they came back for more, right?
Yeah, they didn't ask for the full percentage at first, and then they came back and got it.
Yeah.
in their defense, I mean, the state made this really bureaucratic. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a lot.
Exactly,
to-
they did.
But we're not up against a time constraint. like
No, we
were
have until
last time.
2024.
The end of 2024.
So,
Exactly,
So
and it's
we
just,
can all breathe and relax and
exactly.
find the best way to do it. I mean, I think we should, if we can, move on those rural sewer deals because but like we're saying, that's a pretty small chunk of,
We have 807,000, I think is
yes,
what I
we've
read.
gotten half of it.
yeah.
It's sitting in the bank, just sitting there. I mean, it's not hurting anything. So,
Yeah.
Drawing interest.
interest.
We went to a commissioners conference last week and really nobody had any insightful input on what to spend it on specifically yet.
Most people,
And I asked some big counties, we had a deal with some smaller counties and we asked the smaller county guys because I felt that they were more relatable to us. What are you guys spending it on? Whole room of 5,000 or less commissioners and nobody had,
right, I mean,
Well, it may just
nobody
be
had
like-
anything. But it's a little early
Yeah.
too.
It
Right.
is, I mean,
I think the general consensus was that everybody just needed to breathe and chill out and,
I mean, once we got it, which
Yeah.
that wasn't easy, it took me a whole afternoon of going through the red tape to get it, but we did get it, so now we can, okay, let's get our plan made and.
yeah.
And then they were wanting guidelines and the guidelines.
They're still working on the
They haven't
guidelines,
written them yet.
so.
I actually participated in a conference by a webinar, whatever, last week. It's the Health and Human Services grant we got for the grocery store. And so within that teleconference, they had the Deputy Assistant Secretary, Department Treasury for Community Economic Development on there. And I would like to follow up with him because if we have any question of the interpretation, say we want to transfer it, say to the Port Authority, because economic development or economic recovery is one of those eligible uses, but we don't have a lot of guidance on exactly what they're gonna determine is, you know, within that parameter or not. I do think that the counties are at an advantage because you're not going through the state, you're getting it directly from Treasury, so you don't have the gatekeepers of the state kind of putting their layer on it the way that they did last year.
Yeah.
But if we can get someone at Treasury, and even an email, to give some guidance on what they think is a suitable use of funds, I would feel like, okay, bring on the single source audit. We've got, you know,
Yeah.
we've got some kind of backing that our interpretation was consistent with the Treasury's. So, anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Should I bring, oh wait a minute, I can't next week, but should I make an appointment to bring our,
Yeah, just send me an email and I'll get you scheduled.
Okay.
okay,
Thanks,
great,
Carolyn.
thank you.
There's 3 tax roll
Yeah.
corrections. Clay, they're all Stafford Land Bank.
Oh,
Our
okay.
City of Stafford's and 2 Stafford Land Banks.
I'll make a motion, we accept the tax roll correction.
Second.
It's been moved and second, we adopt the tax roll corrections. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, you had the Historical Society budget that Clayton brought in. They're asking for a $2,000 increase, going from 28,000 to 30,000 in 2022.
Carol, we'll recess.
Back page is signed for you.
Carol, we'll go back into session. So I need to look at
You're mumbling.
What do you want to start with?
Probably a response to,
Okay. How long do you want?
it may take a while. I'm gonna talk like David today.
20.
Mr. Harper.
Mr. Harvey.
Mr. Harper.
20
Yeah.
minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we go into an executive session for 20 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
Yeah, I'll second. Moved and seconded, we go into executive session for 20 minutes for non-elected personnel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Deal real fast.
Okay.
You got your budget too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So on this, when will this go into effect?
Okay, this will go into effect for 2022.
For 2022?
Mhm.
I would like to put together some sort of, I think it would be smart. I don't want this to be a blindside to our taxpayers, because it's going to happen whether we want it to or not.
Yes.
We have no choice.
No.
You don't have a
No.
choice, it's not up to us, not up to you. It's coming down the pipe regardless.
Yes.
I don't want people to get their tax statements and go, holy cow, why are my taxes doubled or up, you know, on specific pieces of ground that could double? I don't know what the answer to that is as far as education, whether we need to have a public meeting on it for guys to come in and see it, or whether it's just a mailer explaining what, I mean, am I off base by that, or? I mean, you get your property tax statement, Nita, and not knowing that it's coming down, a lot of people aren't aware of it.
Well, but on Carl's side of it, he deals in the values.
No, I know,
So, I mean, he could speak to that part of it, but
yes,
we don't know what the taxes are gonna be till October.
yes,
So, we would start with the value.
I'm talking about the soil type specifically. Maybe if we put together a mailer that, you know, with some graphics that show this is going, you know, 5935 is going to 5905. Something, I mean, we don't have to do it now, I just want to be brainstorming to not blindside everybody with this soil type deal.
Okay, what if, okay, so what if we did this? Because they're gonna probably want some answers on, and they're probably gonna wanna visually see it, right? You wanna
I
see
would
it.
think so, I mean,
Okay.
I would want to understand why
Okay,
it's going up and who's making it go up.
okay, so
The
what is,
reasons why.
Yes,
so what if we did this conversion? And hopefully we'll have this conversion done the end of July. Let's just say the end of July, this conversion is done. Okay? So that part of the soils will be done. And then, in the meantime, we'll be working on the water ratios. The amount of water used, okay?
mhm,
Instead of a mailer, what if we did a one-page property record card that lists all their soils with the new water ratios and with the new values, then they can see 2022 value, 2021.
mhm.
If they don't see a huge issue, then they won't have to come to the meeting.
But if you have a big
But if you
issue,
have concerns, then let's come to this meeting XYZ night.
yeah,
And maybe we could do that, when would be a good time for the farmers? October, the first part of November,
yeah, kind of right after fall harvest,
After
but
fall.
to get them in here? I don't know when, I don't know when time changes. The
yeah.
darker the better,
Yeah.
as far as.
I think we've got to do some,
November.
I mean, I've kind of got this pit in my stomach about it, that it's going to be a big deal when it comes
And-
down. I
and
mean,
this
there's going to be people that are confused, there's going to be people that are angry. So I want to do some fire prevention.
November
se, before.
7th is when the time will change.
So we did be dark an hour earlier.
Yeah, so you can do it mid-November.
So we could do that, and then those values still aren't, if we have a huge conflict, then we could get PVD involved, and I would still have December and January and part of February to resolve that issue.
Mhm.
A bit a little short, but if we do it the right way, that's very doable,
Yeah,
actually.
I think we got to do something, because, I mean, there'll be some that go way up, and,
Because on the property record card, we could mail those out, and then we could do what you said on that, and kind of show them the difference. If you have this soil type, this is what changed your value drastically,
mhm.
and questions, concerns, come to the meeting at
Yeah,
the
and we can have
annex
some slides put together on,
and go from there.
show them a map and explain why it
Okay.
changed and who changed it.
No, we can do that. That'd be great, actually. That'd probably make my life easier in the spring.
Well, yeah, it's gonna save you a bunch of phone calls in the spring, it's gonna save us a bunch of phone calls. I mean, I think we gotta do something.
Well, another thing is the explanation between the difference, you know, the same soil type between Edwards County and
Mhm.
Stafford and Pratt,
Mhm.
because some of them own
Yes.
property.
Yeah, right across the
Well,
road.
and-
We do,
You know, and-
and it's not anywhere close to,
And why? Why shouldn't it be statewide?
Mhm.
You know, and also wanted to ask him, and didn't have the nerve to, of changing the regions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't think I don't think he'd been able to answer to anyone.
no.
No. Because he's not a Mr. Hingham.
No.
Have you pitched that prorated deal to them?
Zoe at the state is,
Yeah.
and the last time I talked to her, she thinks that may fly.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just want to be thinking we got plenty of time, but to figure it out, but I think we do need to do something, whether it be a meeting or a mailer and a meeting, whatever. You're the expert, so.
And I think too, you know, the landowners in Stafford County is getting a little Ricky dude on them. Don't put that in.
I don't know how to spell it.
No, I don't either. I don't even know what it means.
I don't either.
I was gonna say something else.
I know you were.
And,
We'll just let that go.
Because the red light's probably.
because how can it be justified that Stafford County's values are, can you say, is the production the same?
Mhm. Pretty much.
Because you can't say, they're better farmers than someone in Edwards County, because when somebody's got the
Same people.
same people that have it in Edwards County. I just-
Same folks.
And was it because of the Cheney watershed? Is that where it started 13 years ago?
You know, and I think over the period of time, people have realized that it's wrong. And I mean, people, I think the ones that help can make that change, we brought that up probably, gosh, time goes fast, probably 15 years ago, that it was wrong. Yeah.
There was a statement made last week that was a little disturbing, that in the future, there's going to be about 5 counties covering the whole state of Kansas.
Pretty much is now.
Mhm.
And we're not included.
And that's scary because we don't have the same concerns they do,
No.
those 5. Yeah, we don't have really nothing in common with them, to be honest with you. If they're gonna govern on what happens here.
And none of those 5 were in western Kansas, were
No,
No.
nothing west of Sedgwick,
they?
right?
Because we don't exist.
Well, 135
Yeah.
We don't exist.
is the abyss. It starts
Mhm.
once you get west of.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what I'll probably do then is we kind of went over the budget 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you want me to leave it here.
is that your same one?
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
have it
Okay.
Yeah,
in their folders.
Okay.
Okay, you're not changing anything?
No.
Okay, yeah, that should be good.
Okay. It's in the folder.
yeah, I got it in there. Yep.
You all should have it.
And then, here's the resolution if did you keep it?
I've got a copy.
Okay. Because theirs all has copies on it.
Yeah, I've got one that doesn't,
Okay.
so.
So, we're gonna continue on.
Yep.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
Fun times.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We could mix and match all Todd's stuff around in this folder to confuse her.
You guys gonna have fun with them, aren't you?
Of course they are.
Yeah.
What happens when you're absent? They mess with
Put one bogus sheet in there that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
He's in Capers, that's his
Okay,
annual statement.
thank
Did you
you.
get your annual statement for Capers from another county? I didn't get yours. The things we get every year?
No idea.
I didn't get yours this time. So check with your other 2, or no,
They
it'd be
did.
Ellsworth. Ellsworth didn't get either? Okay, okay. I'll try to get it for you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Carl.
Thank
You
you.
can be shredded. It's really informative.
I have, well, I think I have my budgets ready to go, but I'll wait till Todd's here next week, because there's like 7 or 8 of them. Are you even considering Rob's dream budget? Because I would have to do the general budget over and add 100,000 to it.
I don't,
We can talk about it next week.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that it's doable to do it all in one year, but I do like the idea of a detective.
So, but I'll wait and do these next week. There's no hurry. Luann's gonna do hers next week. And then the hospital's coming on the 30th, and then we'll have them all in.
But I do think it's a pretty big, it's like a 12% jump. So I don't know that you can swallow all of that.
With this new revenue neutral rate coming into play, I'm not sure how things are gonna, because our valuation was up, but yet we can't go over this rate, and I don't know how it's gonna work,
Yeah,
to be quite honest. And until we go through a cycle, nobody can explain it.
yeah. Okay.
And Jay Hall did recommend, and he's our counselor, that we do a dry run before this all goes into effect. Do a mailing and,
Well, you don't have to do a mailing for 2022 budgets.
It'd be for next year.
2023 budgets is when you have to do the mailing.
yeah, so in
Yeah.
20.
So if you want to go over your revenue neutral rate, now is the year to do it.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. And have the hearing,
You just have to publish that you're having a hearing, and you can
Yeah.
have your hearing 2 minutes before your regular
Then
budget
you-
hearing,
Yeah.
which is done.
And
yeah. Well, you gotta open revenue neutral hearing and then close it and then open your
Yeah.
regular budget.
But you can
hearing.
do them all back to back within
Yeah.
5 minutes of each other.
And you can do that on the website, it really doesn't have to be published in the newspaper.
Is that for sure? There was some controversy
It's-
among the clerks about that.
I mean, for the amount that it costs to publish.
I would probably go ahead and publish in the paper, just to make sure, you know, because, I mean, they're trying to move to where election publication can just be done on the website. Well, I'll still do them in the newspapers, just because a lot of our folks don't do internet, they don't.
And the younger ones don't read the newspaper.
No, so you're trying to catch everybody, but yet, who's gonna think,
But what
oh, I'm
he-
gonna go to that
yeah.
website and
Yeah,
look
if
up
you can
that
do Facebook,
publication?
Of course, he
Facebook and the
was,
newspaper,
you know,
he'll cover
referring
everything.
to larger populated
That's
counties.
what they cater to,
And
so,
they're more in tune to web-based stuff and,
exactly, but out here, I still publish, and I will continue to.
Yeah.
Now, the next clerk may not, but I will.
Okay. You got anything else, Clay?
no, I don't. We done?
Anything?
Anything else? Nina? All the paperwork's taken?
Yep, everything's done.
We're adjourned.